last night, Sascoc released a statement defending its decision to intervene at Cricket South Africa. The sports umbrella body faces stiff opposition from CSA, which has indicated that it is seeking legal advice. Now, both sides are supposed to hold talks this weekend, but the meeting scheduled for yesterday did not happen. My colleague Hloni Mtimkulu has been following this soap opera. Now, Hloni, thank you so much for joining us, and I think it's no surprise that Cricket South Africa are where they are today. There's really a long list of events, and let's take everybody through that. The previous CEO, Thabang Mooroe, of course, was suspended at some point, and then he was dismissed. Their president, Chris Lenzani, went and stepped down. The interim CEO they had in Dr. Jacques Faure also stepped down, and after that there were then allegations that the CSA board is captured, allegations of unauthorized expenditure. And then also prior to the suspensions, not only of Thabang, but we also saw Nasai and Clive. They also had that proposed restructure of domestic cricket, which we all, big noise about that at the time. Then after that, we also then saw requests from SACA as well as the Central Gauteng Lions for the board to step down. And remember, the Central Gauteng Lions request came after the nomination of one of the border cricket board members, Simpiwe, who has the gender-based violence allegations against him. With everything that I've said, and it's a mouthful, and there is still more.
Yes, there is.
Is it safe to say that perhaps Cricket South Africa should be placed under administration? I
do want to ask, are you not tired after listing all of those things?
Certainly.
But so the thing is, Sascoc acting CEO Ravi Govender has been very clear to say that they're not placing CSA under administration. This is just a temporary process to try and get Cricket South Africa's house in order because of all the things that have been happening since December last year and that have played themselves out in the media especially. So that's the one part of it, that it's technically, even though it looks like it's administration, that it's not administration. But with everything that has been happening at CSA and the long list of things that you have read out, plus the other things that have been happening, there definitely needs to be an intervention at Cricket South Africa. And it is something that the sports minister, Natim Tetwa, when we spoke to him yesterday, said that he is fully behind. Let's take a look at what he had to say about that.
All right.
There has to be something which is done to revive cricket to be back, whether it's on the issue of discrimination, whether it's corporate governance, as I said. All areas point to south in terms of the performance of cricket. So we want cricket back. We applaud what Sascoc is doing and will support to ensure that the cricket is back on its feet.
Okay, so the minister there says he's giving their support to ensure that they are on their feet. And as you say, Ravi Govender said, it's not really them being placed under administration, it's rather an intervention. So this intervention, there is a resolution that's of course now been ratified. Take us through the details of that resolution.
Yeah, so there have been a series of meetings that have been taking place since last week even between CSA and Sascoc. And, it's been such a mission to try and get Sascoc to even say anything, never mind CSA. But, obviously because all of this has been happening, but they did decide earlier this week that they would appoint a task team for about a month to look into the affairs of CSA and to see what is happening and what resolutions could happen. I think the other big issue around that was the fact that Sascoc wasn't given access to this forensic report that we've been waiting for so long, and the Members' Council itself has also not been given access to this report. So I think with all of that happening and the forensic audit right now is a big part of all of this, that why have we not been given access to this? And apparently it's pages and pages, hundreds and hundreds of pages worth of information. So they are meant to be putting that task team together. CSA have rejected the idea that they will be placed on temporary suspension or asked to step aside for a moment, for a month, and they have consulted with their legal team to see if there is some recourse for them. And in the interim, there are those meetings that are meant to take place. We don't know where that process is at the moment, but it's ongoing, but it's part of the drama that has been playing itself out.
The meetings that are taking place at 00:59, or rather ending at 00:59.
And with statements coming out at 2 minutes past 1, yes.
That is true. So you say there's hundreds and hundreds of pages in that report, and it's fine. We actually want to see the details of all of those pages. Now, for our viewers at home, just explain to them, where does Sascoc fit in? I'm sure many people, when they've seen this media statement, they're probably thinking, but where does Sascoc fit in? How is it possible that they can decide to place Cricket South Africa under administration, or rather, we'll use the word, it's an intervention? Where do they fit in?
So Sascoc is the government-recognized mother body of sporting bodies in the country. And in their letter to CSA on why they're doing this, they're very specific to say that we're doing this reading the National Sport and Recreation Act as well as our constitution. And their constitution says that they have the right to administer the affairs of its members, of all the Sascoc members, and CSA is a member of Sascoc. And the National Sport and Recreation Act provides for dispute resolution measures. And it says that if a sports body can't resolve matters on its own, then it comes to Sascoc. Sascoc writes to the sports minister and resolves the matter on its own. So they say that this is what they can do. I know there has been a lot of talk around why Sascoc getting involved, but as a member of Sascoc CSA, Sascoc actually does have some rights to get involved. The problem, of course, is that Sascoc itself is in a mess.
And that's exactly that. You know, we're running out of time, but just before you go, Hloni, exactly on that point, they do have the right, of course, to do what they're doing. And everything within that media statement of theirs was actually correct. But Sascoc have their own internal affairs. Sascoc have their own legal battles as well. It's sort of the pot calling the kettle black at this point. And also, I feel like they're deflecting from their issues. So let's focus to Cricket South Africa, which, you know, puts us on ice for a moment. So whilst this needs to be dealt with, is Sascoc really the right body to be doing this?
Yeah, it's interesting. In that letter that Sascoc wrote to CSA, they talk about how there have been all these things that have played themselves out in the media since December, and they're concerned about that, you know, and what is happening. But when you look at Sascoc themselves, they've had things playing out in the media for years and years and years. And they now have an election that was meant to take place in March that didn't take place. So in the middle of CSA's drama, there's also been Sascoc drama as well. They still don't have a president. They're with an acting president at the moment. They have an acting CEO at the moment. You know, they've had board members pull out. Their board is only made up, I think, of 9 people, and I think it's meant to be 12. They're meant to then replace, you know, all those other board members. So there's been a lot happening there as well, and I think that's part of the issue, that they are as troubled. They have legal challenges. They have financial issues. Why are they doing this? They are the mother body of sport in the country, so...
Hloni, unfortunately, we are out of time, but thank you so much for shedding some light on this matter, and hopefully very soon we can see this being resolved for, you know, the love of the game and for cricket to be in a better place.